Hello, welcome back to how to switch to a tech career in your 30s and 40s without going back to college or waiting years. That's what this channel is all about, and it's a little bit for everyone, regardless of age, regardless of stage, regardless of background. What it's really for is to keep you motivated and give you some tips and tricks that along the way you might find useful. So just a little quick blurb about who I am, because you're watching. I switched into a tech career when I was in my 30s, my mid-30s, upper 30s, you could say. And I got into the career that I'm in right now, so doing mobile software development, even later than that. So in close to 40 or at 40. I don't remember the year. I could go back and look. But all that to say, I'm not 40 anymore. I'm not 35. You can tell right here. But what I am is I'm very experienced, and I'm very much interested in helping others. I've always gotten a big kick out of helping others. So I'm going to try to help you on this video right now. Now, if you're like me, you might have been, or sometimes even I am now, wandering around feeling like you make progress one day because you see a video maybe like this, and then you go do the thing, and then after about 2 hours you come back and you find another video and you think that you're helping yourself. You might actually be hurting yourself though. But after the day goes by and you've done a little bit of progress, you might feel lost, confused, or even upset that you didn't get something really done. And this is what it takes to switch into a tech career. I will use this in a second, but basically getting into a tech career from any other career or leveling up your current job in tech or IT, it takes some dreaming. Okay? So there's a dream involved. Now, if you're anything like I am, a dream is something that's fun to think about, but it's very hard to act on. It's hard to know what to do next. So I always encourage, of course, people to go from a dream, and this is reverse engineering. Reverse engineering your dream. So when you have a dream, it's maybe something you think is like, maybe I could do this in 1 year. And then if you go past the 1 year, you don't know why it's gone past a year. You don't understand why you couldn't do it. But as you look back, I know I've had ideas in my head for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, sometimes even 10 years. And I look back and I still remember when I first had the idea and I never took any action on it that was worth mentioning to anyone else. Now, that's probably not like you. You probably have this dream and you've been doing things all the time to try to hit that dream and make that dream come true. It could be courses, could be watching YouTube like this video here. Maybe that's how you found this video here in my channel. It could be a boot camp. It could be anything else, such as a project, getting a mentor. You could have done all these things, but still, you're not quite able to hit the dream. And that's because most people I meet, they have taken some action. They definitely have a dream. They want the money. They want remote. They want freedom. Is a flag a good, like United States flag? There we go. I think we still stand for freedom here. They want freedom. That's the dream. And you've taken some actions, but you're going around in circles because you haven't hit the dream yet. You want to get up here. So in order to get up here, you've got to reverse engineer down here. And that is where you need some actual goals. And I'm going to say, this is where most people I meet struggle. And maybe that's like you. You struggle to put down some goals on the calendar. And that is important. Did I spell that correctly? I'm going to put, here's the calendar. Looks a lot like the flag, doesn't it? Okay. So you struggle to put things on the calendar because, I'll be honest, it's a lot more fun to just have a dream. It's easier to just go to your regular job, get done with work, come home, turn on Netflix, eat food in front of the TV or in front of your phone. Maybe talk with the family a little bit, and, well, another day went by and we still have the dream. And you dream about it when you go to bed. It's a little more tough to start engaging with courses, with YouTube, with a boot camp, with a mentor. Maybe you're going back to college even. It's a little more tough, and this is where people mostly get hung up. And so the next step they do, and that's why this boot camp here, and I'll even say a mentor, we'll put plus signs here. They feed you goals onto the calendar. The course is not so much. Maybe a project also feeds dates onto the calendar. So that's why these are important. When you go to a boot camp, you've got a deadline. Where a boot camp struggles is they might not have. You might be in a boot camp for 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and they can't keep the promises. And that's because you're lacking some skills. And those will come down here. So if you're unable to set your own goals, then you're probably not going to get a lot out of the boot camp. If you're unable to set your own goals, you're not going to get projects. Because projects, if you do for a client, projects will give you goals. They need it done in 3 weeks, for example. And a mentor, if you're not able to set goals on your own, put them on the calendar. By next Tuesday, I'll have this done. Getting this done by next Tuesday is a goal. Getting something done in 90 days is a goal. And I have this here. I'll bring up this little board. This has 90, 30 day, 14 day, and 1 day goals. Okay? We'll talk about 1 day goals in a second. But that's the kind of goals you need. I love physical interaction things here. It's just a lot cheaper than digital. And sometimes it's easier. All right, so if you get a mentor, that can give you goals because your mentor can say, like I do for my clients, I call up some of my clients. It's agreed either every day or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll call up and say, hey, let's go over your KPI. And it's just a 5-minute call. But that's putting a goal on the calendar is by Wednesday, for example, let's say it's Friday now. By Monday, I have to do KPIs that get up higher. And that's what a tech career transition mentor or strategic advisor is what I do, what they can do for you. All right, I'm going to put a line down here because a lot of people, let's go back as we kind of cover this again. I'm going to change colors. I'm changing to purple. And let's go back to the top. It's easy to dream. It's fun to dream. It's because your dream has gone on maybe a year or 2 years. Maybe that's why you're watching this video, because you've actually started to take a little bit of action and looked at some courses and looked at some things, but you still might be feeling like you're not able to make a lot of progress towards your dream. And so getting really nitty-gritty is when you set goals and you put them on the calendar. Now you're having to be accountable to yourself, or accountable to a mentor or to a boot camp, or your client if you have a project. Okay, these are not so much because those are really self-paced. All right, so you may be stuck in the mud here, and this is where I want to tell you the most obvious thing you've ever heard, and it relates back to this at the very bottom there. You've got 1 day goals, and this is a 1 day goal is the best way. What do we got? 21st? March. Right now it's March 21st of 25. All right, so 1-day goals. That's all tasks are. Tasks are goals that are on the calendar that are things that you have to accomplish on a certain date, and that date happens to be today. And that is the most granular level of a goal. If you can stay accountable to yourself with a granular goal such as a task and check it off, you will find progress bubbling up all the way to your dream. It will bubble up into your other goals. If you get a task done today, guess what? Tomorrow your goals slightly change because you've got some progress. If you get a task done today, you're not only that, does it not only change your goals or modify or slightly make them easier to achieve, but also now you've got this learning recycle here. Could be a vicious circle. I think that's what it's called. It could be kind of an endless routine. It becomes not endless anymore. It has an end point because you've got some metrics applied. I can complete a task every day. Therefore, I know by such and such a date, I'll be done with my course. Or I can hold myself accountable. So, that project that I have, I know I can get it done in 30 days because I know how to do daily tasks. This is how I get things done, and I've gotten as far as I have in my career. And I would say that I am I am blessed to be very far in a career that I did not, quote unquote, deserve. Meaning, I did not pay a lot of money for a college course to get into a tech career. And I am not the smartest kid. I love to solve problems. The reason I'm saying these things about myself is to show you that you can do this. Some of the most profitable people I know have daily habits, and in those habits, they do certain things. And a habit is simply a task that's done on autopilot. So right now, look at your habits. If you want to create tasks, and it seems overwhelming, I've got to write tasks every day. Okay, a way to bridge that is to look at your current habits. I know every day you get up. I know every day you probably watch YouTube. Otherwise, you're not here. You probably watch YouTube daily. If you don't, I'm glad you found this. I don't know how you found me, but you probably watch YouTube daily. And if not, then I'm glad you're here. You probably, brush your teeth. You probably do daily habits to take care of your body. And those are tasks that get checked off without even looking at. Those are habits. Habits are tasks. So I know that you can do it. I know that you can write down a task. And so for today, an assignment for you would be simply identify a task that you automatically do and write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down in your reminders in your apps. And check it off when you do it. So if it's make your bed in the morning, write it out, make bed in morning, and get the task done and check it off and look at how that feels. It feels really good to get something done. And then tomorrow, when you look back, you can look back and see what you got done, and you can say, well, I got that done. I could maybe add another task. And all of a sudden, you'll start to rethink how your life is put together. Because really, we are the sum of our tasks. When you think about something, that could be a task. When you type in research, that could be a task. When you take a break, that could be a task. If you were to look at my calendar right now, I have it right in front of me, and I use paper, okay? And I've got 8 things on here, and only 5 or 6 of them, 5 things have gotten done. This video is one of them. Now, why do I say all that? It goes back to your dream. And to put it a different way, a lot of people have a dream and they get a vision. So first is a dream and then a vision. Oh, I bet it could be like this. I bet my life could be easier if I was working remotely or on site with a high-paying job, and I can have a nice clean cut from work to family life. I'm not working 80-hour weeks, blah, 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 etc., etc. That's more the vision. A dream is like, oh, I would love to have something better. Vision's more specific, but the link to the goals is the tasks. So try to put down goals. That's your assignment. And then when you put down goals, 90 days, 60 day, 90 day, 30 day, 14 day, and 1 day goals. Remember, those 1 day goals are just tasks. Start off though large, okay? So start off with, I want to get this type of job, and then in 90 days, I have to get this type of course done. And within 30 days, I have to get this part of the course done. And within 14 days, the next 2 weeks, I have to get through 50% of that part of the course, which is my 30-day goal. Half of that is 14 days. So today, if I divide that course up into 30 parts, so to speak, probably don't need to do that, but divide it up into the parts, I need to get through 15 minutes today. That is how you're going to get things done. And if you cannot get that done, I have to say, there's really no chance that you're going to switch into a tech career or level up into a new role that is your dream role within tech or IT. If you need help doing that, I can definitely help you. I've got a lot of experience doing that, and I really enjoy helping people. You can look down in the comments, there should be, or in the description, there should be a link, and you can message me doc or whatever it says down there, and I will get back to you. Okay, I get back to everybody. So thanks for watching. And remember, there's nothing more fun than having a dream. But if you can't fulfill your dream, there's nothing more disappointing than having a dream unfulfilled. It becomes really discouraging. So take action or change the dream to be something that you can do. We'll see you next time. Let me know if you like this by hitting a like. There's a nice button that tells me if this was good content or not. See you next time.